All statements and opinions expressed by guests of the Adult in the Room podcast are strictly their own and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs or opinions of the host, producers, or advertisers. All interviews are presented in their most complete possible form in the interests of free speech. No statements should be interpreted as financial, legal, or medical advice. Listener and viewer discretion are strongly advised.
It's the Adult in the Room podcast with Victoria Taft. That's me.
Now, I have to say thank you so much to my friend, Kevin Downey Jr. He's not there at the moment, but he's going to come on any second now. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah.
And go for it, dude.
All right. What would you like to know about I still have to say alleged because my fiance and I were never arrested, so we couldn't be pardoned. And the statute of limitations runs out 1 year from today. Although I've been told nothing to worry about. They're not going to come after you. It would be a huge embarrassing mistake for them to do that. But I still like to stick to the old allegedly thing.
So this guy, who was at the January 6th speech by the president, as well as at the Capitol somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. What happened? What was that guy up to?
Which guy is that?
That's you. I'm sorry.
No.
Remember,
Yes,
that other guy.
I get it now. Derp. So that guy, let's just say he and his fiance hung out for the whole speech and then walked patriotically and peacefully, or peacefully and patriotically, whichever order you prefer, to the Capitol. And I remember standing there going, wow, there's hundreds of thousands of Trumpers here. And I can see seven Capitol cops, and no one's fighting. No one's doing anything.
Yeah.
And some guy walks, I believe we're on the back of the building. And some guy walks up the stairs to talk to a guard. A Trumper walks up and he comes down. And as the guy's coming down the stairs, he puts his arms in the air in sort of a victory fashion. Then all the cops left. We couldn't see him. And people started, and we had heard, a woman had told us, a woman with her daughter, the daughter's 14, said, they're letting us in, just we have to promise to be peaceful. I was like, yeah, of course, no problem. And so we allegedly went in there's two doors at the back. One of them had a bunch of riot cops standing there, and the other one had a line going into it. We were like queued up, and the line's moving, fairly quickly, and people going in and out. And we allegedly walked in, and there was a line of cops, so you couldn't really go more than, 15 feet in any direction. And everything was great. Everything was great. We took some insurrection-y selfies, as you do when you're, trying to take over the world. When I try to take over the nation, you got to get some snaps, as they say in England, get a few snaps. And then they pushed us out. And I noticed that one guy was holding a shotgun with a 12-inch barrel, pump action. I thought, I hope there's nothing but, one of the cops. And I was like, why does a cop have a shotgun? This is the most peaceful thing I've ever seen. Uh-huh. Now, outside, I thought I had heard fireworks going off. Turns out later they were canisters. They were like, what do you call it? Eye irritant canisters. Some sort of, it wasn't tear gas you could see.
Right.
Because I sure didn't see any. But then again, we're at the back. And we left. Mm. And then we got going to a gig. We get a call from the FBI. So when the FBI, or did you watch Breaking Bad? Did you see Breaking Bad, Victoria?
Oh, I saw a couple episodes. I'm sorry. I'm just okay. the least,
Yeah.
I just can't even do it. I'm going to have to do Stranger Things. I haven't done that yet. So,
okay. There's a scene where they tell the lead guy that he has cancer. And as the doctor's telling him, he sort of fogs out. And so what I heard was, hello, Mr. Downey. This is Special Agent Ring Ding from the FBI. And then it all went foggy. And I don't know really what he said much after that, other than we want to see you right now. And I said, well, we're going to a gig. And I'm watching the video. I see they've got the paintballs. Now look at that person. They're all ready for it.
Yeah, she's an Antifa gal from Portland.
Yeah. She's been ID'd. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's wonderful. So, we just sort of walk up, and we may have walked in. And when we left, and we're like, why? There's a guy with a shotgun. I thought, why would he do that? All right, so you see where they are? That's where we were, but about a quarter of a mile behind them. So we didn't see any of this. I was marveling at how there was nothing going on as far as violence. I said,
Yeah.
man, we're a bunch of cool Trumpers. And and I'm like, I saw the shotgun. I thought, like, wow, it's really time to go. We come out and a line of riot cops comes out. And this, I don't know, he probably wasn't any more than 50, 55. He goes up to one of them and goes, you did nothing when Antifa was burning this town, but now you're out for us. And he pushes one of the guy's pad. And a bunch of Trumpers run over and go, no, we don't do that. I saw some idiot walk out with a coat rack, and a woman, probably 65, runs over and goes, we don't steal. We're not BLM. We're not Antifa. Go put it back. And he did. I also saw videos. Yeah, I saw videos of Trumpers arm in arm keeping so-called rioters from the cops who were fighting. None of these things were seen. Now, I saw that a couple weeks later. So anyway, the FBI, they're at the door, but they're calling me, and we're not home. Thank God.
This guy, I'm going to point out for just a second. This guy allegedly, this is at Portland outside the ICE facility, and I am told by smart people he was at J6.
Oh,
he's Antifa.
Yeah, funny how none of them got. I'm telling you right now, Antifa was working with the FBI. Yeah. There's no way that they were not. And let me throw this at you too. You know what? If I kind of wish I was like a Somali guy who stole $2 million, because they would have left me alone.
Right.
All I had to do was open Somali daycare, and I'd be rolling in the money right now. I call them salamis. I pretend to forget, but I'll be on there. I'll call these. Look at these salami fraudsters. Anywho, what happens next is about a year later, I get a call from this salad dodging prag from NBC who goes by Ryan J. Riley. Have you seen this fatty acid?
No.
No, Julie Kelly hates him. And he writes this article. It was he's a horrible comedian, but he's one of the highest profile people. I'm like, dude, I drive a 2005 Saturn. All right. 20, maybe a 2006. I don't want to brag. I don't want to get out of my wheelhouse here. It might've been a 2006, but so we had to get a lawyer now. And I said, they're making me out to be a big fish. He goes, that's what they do. You may think you're a minnow, and I'll be honest, I've never heard of you, but they're going to make you a trout and put you on the wall.
Yeah.
So, and I'm actually, when he calls me, this Ryan J. Riley, I didn't know he was working on a story. He goes, yeah, we got a story. Do you have it? He texted me, and I'm like, I'm not picking up. Called 4 times. I didn't pick up because I didn't know who it was. And he goes, yeah, do you have any, anything you want to say? We've got video. And so I didn't respond. But what happened was, so I don't know if they were bots or real, but he goes, oh, look, a domestic terrorist on Twitter is working at whatever the name of the casino was. I was working in Vegas. And he probably hits him 10, 15 times. Why would you hire a domestic terrorist? Blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
then he says, if anyone wants to go see Kevin Downey Jr. perform and let him know what we think of traitors, my DMs are open. So he's trying to rile up the crowd.
Right. And
now I'm getting Twitter messages. Hey, we're going to rape your fiance when you're in prison getting raped. So, how about that? Won't that be fun? Stuff like that. Real filthy garbage. These are diarrhea people. Every one of them. They're a bunch of diarrhea people. And I was just utterly shocked how I went from, a barely known quirky comedian to a domestic terrorist. And they're planning rape attacks. They're planning rape attacks against my lovely fiance, Jessica. It's actually Jessica, but she's Puerto Rican. And that they would say Jessica.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm one of those white men. We're enemies. We're the devil. So I would say Jessica. You would say Jessica, unless you're secretly a Latina. Secretly. But yeah, whenever I run into someone who's Spanish, they'll call this, how is Jessica? Jessica Collazo? I say, Jessica's fine. And she got kicked off of Facebook, so she had to come back as Jessica. So it made it even funnier. So the long story short, I check in with the lawyer every now and then. He goes, all right, you're just on a list now. And then he goes, all right, your case has been given to a prosecutor. And he goes, but the good news is I'm hearing that the DOJ and the FBI in New York are sick of chasing down people for trespassing. And he goes, the good bad news is we live in a place with a lot of real terrorists. So they're chasing, they're chasing the anti-Semites, and they're chasing the religion of pieces. I call them pieces because they tend to detonate. Yeah, they blow them up. They blow themselves up into bits.
Stop making me laugh. I'm going to cough.
So what happens is Trump wins. And Jessica calls one of our lawyers. We had to have two, one for her, one for me. So it's only $30,000 each. So who doesn't have that laying around?
Of course. Just write that check, boy.
I had to raid a 401k. But the good thing is when I'm old and retired, I won't eat. And that's fine because I could lose a few pounds. So I won't need that money at all. But I got most of it back, which was very kind of them. Very kind.
Really?
Unheard. And I didn't ask him. We didn't ask him for it. Nothing like that. But the day after Trump won, Jessica calls him up and says, hey, can we get like a pardon? He goes, you can't get a pardon because you weren't arrested.
Right.
But he goes, it's over. He goes, I promise you. He goes, and we're going to send you. So I spent 60 grand. I got 53 back because they each had to spend 3,500 to, there's a guy, he's a lawyer in DC. And what he would do is he would go around to the courtrooms and he would see who's been busted, what they've been charged with, and what was the outcome. Because they just wanted to know what we were going into.
Uh-huh.
And they said, that's all we did. We each spent 3,500. And he goes, look, because I've been defending criminals my whole life. You've never been arrested. We had to look into you because you've got nothing. Because you're not a criminal. Just here's your money. Get out. We're happy to send it back. So got a couple of nice checks there, which, by the way, if you need lawyers on Long Island, call me. I've got guys with a refund policy, 2 of them.
That's amazing. I can't even believe that.
No,
that's so crazy.
I have a friend who's Jewish. He goes, I told him I got the money back. He goes, you idiot. You didn't get a Jew for a lawyer? I thought I told you get a Jew. I go, how do you know they weren't Jewish? He goes, because they wouldn't have given the money back. That's from a Jewish guy, friend of mine. So it's not me.
Lovely.
Yeah,
hey,
not me.
I have a question for you. So what happened though?
So before we got the lawyers, I would watch the news and see, and you know how they were raiding people. But, a bunch of MAGA memas, suddenly they've got M4s and M16s, whatever, in their faces. So I would stay up until 7 a.m. in my clothes for months, just waiting. Because I thought, well, they're going to come. I don't want to be naked when they get it. Or maybe I do. But I would just sort of sit here and wait. And then I'd fall asleep at around 7:10 and get up at around, I don't know, maybe 10:30, 11. And I lived like that for months.
Wow.
And then we got the lawyers, and they would call and check once in a while. They were really funny. My lawyer he's got a real thick Italian accent. And when I talk to him, the first minute and a half would be very professional. And then after that, you go, Mr. Downey, this Nancy Pelosi, she can suck my whip, and she's a biatch, effing biatch. And he went into straight into Brooklyn mode. It was great. So much fun. And so, the day after Trump won, he goes, you're free. There's no way they come and get you. There's no way. God bless you. And if you need a lawyer again, let me know. The check will be in the mail this week.
So one of our commenters said, hey, did he say that there was no, J6 wasn't violent and bear spray smells so much like lavender? Who can remember that cute Rob sculpture they wanted to attach Mike Pence to? Oh yeah. So please set the record straight. I said he didn't say that it wasn't violent. He just didn't see any violence.
We saw no violence. None at all.
Yeah.
See
any feds there?
Oh, probably hundreds and didn't know it.
Right.
Yeah. If you were to go to my Twitter right now at KDJ Radio Show, it's almost like an album cover picture they took of me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I'm wearing a black jacket. And I'm holding a white flag that says "Keep on Trumpin'." Allegedly.
Oh, funny.
Allegedly. Yeah. So months after this guy came out with the article, he comes out with this article. He goes, attempted comedian Kevin Downey Jr. after storming the Capitol. We waited in line. We waited in line. And no, we didn't see any violence at all. And that's why when people said, "Oh my God, it's so violent," I'm like, no, something's weird here. Something is. We didn't see one. That one guy who pushed a riot cop, and then the other jumpers or Trumpers, the other Trumpers jumped on him and said, that's it. And Jessica goes, "We should leave. We should leave now because his cops are with clubs." And so we're leaving, and we see, I think it's Jacob Langley. Yeah, there I am.
Oh, Jake Lang. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We see him with the horns and the paint, and I go, my God, I have really, really got to step up my MAGA game because I didn't look like a witch doctor, and I'm thinking maybe I should have.
Oh, you're talking about the other guy now. I've had him on the show, and I'm forgetting his
Langley.
No, there's Jake Lang, and then there's
oh yes, Chumley,
Chandler. No, I'll think of it. Well, anyway, okay. I'll look it up right now.
But that's the guy.
Chansley. Oh yeah, is it Jacob Chansley?
Yeah, Jessica got it. We saw him.
Thank you, Jessica.
Victoria says thank you. We saw him, and I was like, my God, I really got to invest in some MAGA protest clothes because I'm just a schmuck now. Look at this guy. But then again, he was the first one to go down. He was like the poster boy. He was a poster boy for J6. And you know what? The best part about his whole thing was, and this is just to show you like how nonviolent he was. His big worry was vegan food. And you say what you want about vegans. I've never seen him try to topple a nation per se.
Right. Yeah. I mean, well, they can't, generally speaking. No, he was there just, being silly, I think. And
yeah.
He didn't do anything. I mean, I think he was just the most visible person.
Yes.
And so therefore he was made an example of.
Yep.
And so bless his heart, but this is what you have. This was the instantaneous message, that proclaimed and framed it as an insurrection within hours. Like talk about an information op. I mean, this is time. I mean, I was appalled by the whole thing, frankly. I mean, obviously. And in terms of any violence, because I've never seen Republicans do violence or conservatives do violence, because that's not our thing. And so I was just freaking out. And I was talking to a friend of mine who was there live. And I said, what is happening here? And he goes, "Oh, this is great." And he didn't see anything either.
Yeah.
So anyway, all of a sudden it's an insurrection. This is a tweet that Hillary Clinton tweeted out today that you obviously was on your timeline. So that's why I saw it. I didn't see this before.
Now keep in mind, this is Operation Mockingbird at its finest.
It really is.
These same papers had nothing to say when the toilet people of Antifa and BLM were burning the nation down. It was all racism. No. This has nothing to do. My favorite quote from the communists is, the issue is never the issue. The issue is always the revolution.
Right. I was absolutely right. There's only the fight, as Hillary put in her senior thesis or what have you. And when she was in some highfalutin university, because she was doing her special report on a thesis on Saul Alinsky, and admired him greatly. As a matter of fact, there's only the fight. There's never a there. There's never reason. There's never, except that it's always going to be chaos. That's why Kevin and I will often say, when we talk on our separate audiences, he's on the radio in Long Island and does a podcast and does his stand-up comedy. I don't know if you have even, get down and dirty on this issue, but it's just like there is no there. It is a psyop. The whole thing is a psyop. It's only, you must have been laughing your head off when you saw all those Maduro supporters on the streets of Portland and Seattle and everywhere else in the country.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, okay. So the No Kings people are now all in support of a dictator. I mean, they're all getting paid. That's
hilarious. It's, what, I've got a cousin who's like, what am I, 60? She's probably 63, 64, retired. She has enough money and just hates Trump. And I said, look, if you're going to go to these stupid No Kings, get paid for it. She's, oh, I'm not doing it for the money. Then you're the idiot. You're the useful idiot. How do you look at it? And you know what? Those crusty hippies, remember, I mean, like real hippies from 67, 68. You see them? Oh my God. They're
Excuse me.
everything's fine. And then
Making me laugh again.
the next thing you know, they're like wiping their bahookies on Teslas and doing it for free. For free. You loved Tesla an hour ago when Elon Musk was saving the planet.
Right.
But just you know what? I'm trying to figure out how someone was able to take over their brains. I know Yuri Bezmenov said, give them enough bogus information. They won't know what to believe, and they won't believe anything you say. But how did they get them to that point? Are these people stupid? Is my cousin an idiot? Is she weak? I don't know what it is. But she actually drove. She lives in Alaska, and she drove down to California, then drove back up to Alaska and stopped in Canada to say, what's it take to move here? And I said, how has your life changed? I just hate him. I just hate him. I just hate him. And I said, why? In a 45-minute conversation, she couldn't tell me why.
She just doesn't like him, and she's mentally ill as a result of her irrational fear of Donald Trump. I mean, there's your answer. Well, I know people who wanted to leave the country.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, come on.
You know what?
The biggest downside is you'll make more money. I'm not sure actually what the biggest problem is going to be for you. I mean, your life will not change. You will probably get more freedom, actually.
Yeah.
So
you know what I really learned throughout this whole thing is that I have completely underestimated evil.
Oh, yeah.
Completely. Who says we're going to come and rape your fiance while you're getting raped in prison? Who says that? And I thought, have I been living in a bubble? I don't. Then I thought, wait a minute. I used to be a New York City liberal. And looking back, I was like, now I get it. I see it from the other side. Like, I wasn't one of the hateful liberals. Like when someone would say, man, these Christians, I can't stand them because they won't let gay people get married. And I said, yeah, what about those Muslims? They're throwing them off roofs. And my friend's like, whoa, KDJ, what's with the Islamophobia? I said, well, no, if you hate the Christians over gay marriage, you must really hate when they toss them off of a building, right? They're like, whoa, man, I didn't know you were such a hater. And I was like, okay, now that's when I started to maybe I don't belong with this crowd.
Right. Here's another lie about J6. First of all, it was not an insurrection, and he was there to testify. Here's another one. Kurt Schlichter called it, saying this is a lie. 5 years ago, writes this bot account supposedly for Kamala. These people by the way, the avatar is a picture of Nancy Pelosi, so that should tell you something. 5 years ago, these police officers died because Donald Trump and his treasonous thugs. Republicans may pretend they didn't exist, but we will always remember. Do you realize that this obvious lie that has been dispelled so many times is still going? 5 years later, these people do not learn.
They don't learn. And you know what really steams my clams? About a month after J6, some guy, who's the big black militant guy who wears the bow ties? Farrakhan.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Where is Minister Farrakhan these days anyway? He's going totally low pro. What's going on with him?
About a month or maybe 5 weeks after J6, one of his followers kills a Capitol cop. And Joe Biden had the audacity to say, the MAGA killed these cops. He names them all.
Yeah.
And I was like, my God, how do people believe? Well, it's just
the president of the United States is saying it. That's why.
Yep, exactly.
They don't believe anything Trump says. Everything's a lie. But boy, Joe Biden, who's so brain addled, he can't conduct his own personal affairs, is now the president. And President Autopan's going on. And they'll believe anything he says.
Biden
Can you believe what a psyop that was?
Huge.
I mean, my gosh.
Biden can't walk through the Rose Garden without dropping a couple of crab cakes into his adult diaper. But that's the guy we should all believe. Right there. That's the man. You got to believe that clown. Yeah, it's just sick. It's just absolutely sick. And now the no king, like you said, the no kings people are like, leave that dictator alone, Trump.
Yeah, you meanie. You're so mean, Donald Trump.
Oh my God.
You're such a bad guy. I mean, I'm just totally off the rails right now. Did you see that CIA story? I mean, you and I are sort of in sync about some of this stuff about this CIA memo story, the most damning email that confirms the I'll use this tab and I will put this on the screen because this is a KDH kind of, or KDG. I'm so sorry, dude. Keep doing that. I'm not even drinking or anything.
Well, that's the problem.
Apparently. Let's find out. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, sure, Victoria. Okay, hold on. I'm going to be able to manipulate this. Here's the damning email that confirms the CIA overthrew the U.S. government in 2020.
Ooh, is that new? I didn't see that.
It broke yesterday. And the president has been talking about the coup, as these guys put it, that the CIA was involved in because Gina Haspel, who was at the time appointed by Trump to lead the CIA, and she was no friend to him. She did not like him, thought he was crazy because everybody said he was. So he must be. And obviously all the smart set said he was. So there are, this is just, here it is, the damning email obtained by King Solomon, whoever that is, through the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. And by the way, Trump amplified this King Solomon deal. I mean, and so the bottom line is this. This was Gina Haspel giving her permission for the active CIA people to further the Hunter Biden laptop lie that it was a Russian op, and that at least one person who had been involved had been in this 51 Spies Who Lied. They the bottom line was they were done. They were encouraged to do it by Gina Haspel, who was a working CIA officer. Do you know who didn't sign this letter? Who? And they kept saying, oh, he's going to sign it in all of the different emails and stuff like that. Oh, he's going to sign it. Mike Rogers, the NSA head, and he did not sign it. In fact, he got the hell out of there. So he got out, and he got out with his integrity. He actually had a meeting with Trump. He's the guy who dropped dime on this whole info op that they were doing on him, the Russiagate situation. And then he went into an obscurity. I'm sure he's working for some company, maybe making bank, but whatever. But he never signed. But here's the reason I wanted to show this to you. Oh, let me see. I should. This is a quote attributed to Mike Morrell, who is the person who started the 51 Spies Who Lied. Hunter Biden laptop is a Russian op lie. Mm-hmm. And it is attributed to him. And yet I don't see it, this particular terrible thing, excuse me, in any of the emails that were put into the public sphere yesterday. But it says, hey, CIA Mike Morrell, can I add your name to the list? We'll be adding Leon Panetta, Sue Gordon, Jay Johnson, former DHS guy, George, whoever that is. George Tenet, maybe. Lisa Monaco and Mike Rogers. Mike Rogers never signed it. And I don't even know that Lisa Monaco signed it. And working, by the way, Lisa Monaco was working at the DOJ. Anyway, she's the hatchet woman for those people. Anyway, so in working on adding Dan Coates, Mike Rogers, and Tom Bossert, lots of other IC career folks, trying to give the incapacitated vegetable, particularly during the debate on Thursday, a talking point to push back on Trump on this issue.
Wow.
Yeah. That allegedly is in one of these missives between all these guys when they're talking about cooing Trump, because that's Mark Levin always says this was a soft coup. This was a coup in 2020.
100%.
And so Trump's been on his Truth Social account. Go through that. It is one video after another of people who have finally been listened to about, hey, where'd the votes go in Maricopa County? Hey, where'd the votes go in Nevada? That was a real eye opener. I mean, I knew there was skullduggery in Nevada, but pretty dang bad. I'm sorry. I'm just totally commandeering this interview with you. So
no, not at all. I hope someday, and I think by the time Trump is done, we'll know the real score of both elections, because I think they cheated in 2024 too, but it was just harder because you couldn't say to someone, hey, here's $100, go drop 50 of these ballots in that box and 40 in that one, and we're going to need 80 over in that one across town. But don't you love how they found everyone on J6 except for the pipe bomber. They didn't find any of the
Then he turns out to be a black person who's not a fan of Donald Trump. Like, okay, sure. There's another one of your lies. They didn't want to find him. They found him and they go, oh, this guy's not from Central Casting. We can't have him because he looks like he might be a Biden supporter. Oh, no.
Yep. And you know what? They knew who he was.
Yes.
They lied. They said that, we couldn't check his phone. The data was corrupt. Now, here's the question, though.
Yes.
Do you think that the woman, I think it was the Blaze said, it's this woman, we can tell by her walk. Do you think that kid's a patsy?
I don't know. I've heard that. I have no basis on which to do that.
I've read he has the mental acuity of a 15-year-old, and he beat the FBI for 5 years.
Well, wait a minute now. I don't think so because I don't know. I don't think so. I have video here. Let me show you something because I am going to show you. Did you ever see the video of the pipe bomber who, let's see, J6 pipe bomber just to do this. J6, I'm going to get my video here. Let's see. Yeah, here he is. Benjamin Crump. Our viewers and folks saw this a couple weeks back on the Adult in the Room podcast. Here is the J6 pipe bomber suspect, and of all people, Benjamin Crump. They're going after a local prosecutor who is giving them a hard time because of their bail bond company. And they've got people who own bail bond companies there, and they're complaining. And Crump's there. He's just Crump because he's there because he's making bank from these people who are paying him to be there. But he's not planning to do any legal work. Watch this.
Mr. Hambrick, and the final person you will hear from before we engage in your questions would be Mr. Brian Cole, the president of Free at Last Bail Bond Company. Mr. Cole.
Yeah. I've done business all over the United States. I'm in 20 states, and I've never met the opposition that I've met with Zimmerman coming after our company the way he has. He's defamed me. He's called my insurance company. He's, went above and beyond, going to other jurisdictions, defaming me and Mr. Holmes. I've never seen this before, and we hope that the Department of Justice can come in and do a brief investigation, because what we see and what we've seen is a lot of questionable acts that Mr. Zimmerman has demonstrated towards minority-owned companies. So please, I just hope they would come in and investigate and look at his actions on what he's done towards, minority-owned companies.
And so that's the J6 pipe bomber suspect. He doesn't sound like a 50-year-old dummy.
No, no, he does. So, wow. So they're lying about everything.
I mean, I got nothing, man. all I know is that I saw his name cross-referenced with Benjamin Crump, and I go, holy moly, I got to watch this video. This is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I do love how he dropped the race card as soon as he had to.
Oh, yeah. Because that was the whole pretext upon which they were bringing the complaint. Even though there were, if you see the whole thing, there's a couple of white guys there, and they're standing in the back, and they also own bail bonds company. I think it's possibly two companies. And then they bring up, of course, you've got Benjamin Crump there. You got to play the race card because that's the point of his, being there. And so here he is. That's the J6 pipe bomber suspect. And
he doesn't seem like a troubled.
No,
what they say, he has the mind of a 15-year-old. No way, they're lying.
Yeah,
I think you hit the nail on the head, Victoria. They said, "Oh, it's a black guy. We can't have that.
We can't have that." And then you cross-reference and you go, "Oh heck, here he is with Benjamin Crump. Oh no, we're really screwed.
Yeah.
We're screwed." Can't have that.
No, of course not.
Honestly. Well, anyway, we should probably wrap. I appreciate it. This has been one of my more fun live streams because Kevin, it's just been a car crash of technical failure.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'm doing.
You're not, no, it's not you. Oh no, gosh, we were like 25 minutes late because I was like, what, how come? I mean, I didn't even notice that it was, anyway, long story.
Let me just say, when it comes to technology, I'm not joking. I listened to records on a 1958 hi-fi.
I love it.
And that's all. So like, when people are like, hey, could you, with the computer, no, no, I don't know what you mean. And, I even looked for the StreamYard app and I didn't even find that.
Oh, that's weird too.
Unless it's only on Apple.
No, it's on both Google Play and Apple Store. So
they put something up called Bigo, B-I-G-O, but I was like, that's not even bingo. I'm not done.
They're missing a doggone letter there. I mean, what's going on with that? Oh,
this is a lot of fun. Thank you for having me on, man.
KDJ, thank you so much. I enjoyed your cruiser column today, and I enjoy everything you write for PJ Media. Tell people where they can find you.
Oh, sure. Thank you. You can listen to my radio show around the world, folks. It's Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to LI, that stands for Long Island, linewsradio.com. If you're on your phone, tilt it to the left, and you'll see a button that says Listen Now. And you can hit that, and I'll be there.
Your show is wonderful. It is just so high energy.
Thank you. And it's back.
I will. I'd love to. Yeah, absolutely. Invite me.
You got it.
All right. Okay.
All right. Let's shoot for next week if you're open.
Sure, absolutely. Kevin Downey Jr. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, I'm totally fine with that.
Thank you, Victoria Taps.
Oh, so wait, where we got Benjamin Crump back again? That's totally not what I wanted. I was supposed to try to remove you so I could get a smooth out and like be all cool and stuff. And what happened? Benjamin Crump came back.
That guy is one of those deep-rooted pimples on the bahookie of society.
I mean, I can remember years ago. I did not know who he was, and Michelle Malkin was talking about him in like 2013. And, does anybody remember Michelle Malkin? I do. I enjoyed her greatly. And she's retired. She's doing only a few things. And, but she talked about Ben Crump all the time. And of course he was there. Let me just go through the wall of shame. He was there, Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown. He was there for, George Floyd. These are all people who didn't have to die if they just hadn't done anything illegal. They would have been alive today.
Yep.
So,
anyway. Have you seen The Fall of Minneapolis?
Oh yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
and it's fantastic. She's great.
That's my new favorite. I think I watched that more than Inglourious Bastards just to make sure I haven't forgotten anything.
When we were in France, when I was in France, excuse me, when we went to going to Normandy to Omaha Beach.
My God.
I know. Be envious because I was just pinching myself the whole time. By the way, getting to Normandy was the hardest thing just because we'd been canceled and this and that and everything. So anyway, my husband's just huge World War II buff. And so anyway, so we are taking this little tour, whatever, sprinter van. And we're on this back road in, whatever, area that is. It's rural. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. And we stayed at the Winston Churchill Hotel.
Oh my God.
And it was just, I hope you get there. You have to get there. Anyway, I see this beautiful mansion. It doesn't look super ostentatious. It's sort of a crumbling mansion. And I go, oh my gosh, that looks like the house that was in Inglourious Bastards. And I think I looked it up and I thought it was. What? They definitely used it for B-roll for sure, or some setting or something.
Right.
It was just unbelievable. And I thought, God, this is so great. I just enjoyed that so much. And I got my rocks, my sand, and my shells.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Molotov. Can I say that? Well, it's Long Island. I can say it here and I might not get set on fire.
Sorry. Katie J, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I got to go.
Can't wait till next week.
Okay, me too. I'm going to lose my voice. That's awesome. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode of the Adult in the Room podcast. We do not take you for granted. We appreciate every single person who tunes in every week to listen and watch this program. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday, live streaming on Rumble, and then on every other podcast platform shortly thereafter when we can port it over and get it over there as soon as we can. All the shows can be found at victoriataft.com, where the censorship regime has been banned by me. Follow me on social media at these names: Victoria Taft, the Adult in the Room podcast, and the Victoria Taft Show. Send media inquiries, or any others for that matter, to victoria@victoriataft.com. And here's a big ask. Would you please subscribe, share, like, comment, recommend, and give this program a 5-star rating where you can? We really appreciate it. We do not take that for granted either. Follow my work at, you guessed it, victoriataft.com. PJ Media, I write tons over there. Flamingo Audiobooks, and of course the radio. I don't do this alone. This show is produced and engineered by Overall Media. 1A Cast is responsible for some of the Adult in the Room podcast's imaging. Logo design by Hageman Creative. The Adult in the Room podcast is produced at Flamingo Road Studios. All rights reserved.